Jake sat on a park bench, watching the world go by. People rushed past him, some in business suits, others in running gear, all moving with purpose. He sipped his coffee, but today it tasted bitter. Lately, Jake felt stuck. His friends were climbing the corporate ladder, starting families, buying houses. Meanwhile, he was still figuring things out, working a job he didn't love, living in a small apartment with a leaky faucet. Every time he scrolled through social media, it felt like life was a race, and he was falling behind. Lost in thought, he barely noticed an elderly man sitting down beside him. The man carried a small bag of birdseed and began scattering it on the ground. Almost instantly, birds of all kinds fluttered down, pigeons, sparrows, even a bright red cardinal. Jake watched as the birds pecked at the seeds, each moving at its own pace. Some ate quickly and flew away, while others lingered, picking up one seed at a time. The old man chuckled. "They never rush, he said, tossing another handful of seeds. Jake looked at him, confused. "The birds," the man continued. "They don't compare themselves. The pigeon doesn't wish to be a cardinal. The sparrow doesn't get upset because the others eat faster. They simply do what they were meant to do." Jake nodded slowly, letting the words sink in. The old man smiled. "People are the same. We all have our own timing. Some bloom early, some later. But just because someone else's season has arrived doesn't mean yours won't." For the first time in weeks, Jake took a deep breath, feeling the tension ease from his shoulders. Maybe he wasn't behind. Maybe he was exactly where he needed to be. He looked down at his hands, rough from years of work, full of dreams yet to unfold. He thought about the little things he had been overlooking, mornings like this, the warmth of his coffee, the times he had helped others without expecting recognition. Jake turned back to the old man, whose eyes held a quiet understanding. "Thank you," he said, his voice softer than before. The old man simply smiled and continued scattering seeds as if he had done this all his life. Jake stood up, but this time he didn't rush. As he walked, his steps felt lighter. A soft breeze passed by, and he took a deep breath, feeling the fresh air fill his lungs. Then he realized something he had long forgotten. He was healthy. He could walk, feel the sun on his skin, and breathe without pain. How many people out there wished for a healthy body just to experience life, while he had taken his own health for granted? Jake smiled to himself. Maybe happiness wasn't a finish line he had to chase. Maybe happiness was in the small things he already had. A peaceful morning, a warm cup of coffee, and a body strong enough to keep moving forward. He no longer felt behind. Life wasn't a race, and he finally understood, as long as he kept going, his season would come.